You've probably heard that diet is everything, or maybe meditation is everything, or brain training is the way you heal. Maybe they've told you that somatic work is the way you heal, or emotional release, or energy healing, or specific supplements, or getting to the root cause of the physical problem. Maybe you are convinced that biohacking is the way to heal, or if you just do this certain thing a certain way. Well, today we are going to talk about what health coaches never tell you about healing. This is literally the truth and the secret that no one talks about. And this is what it actually takes to heal. So good morning, it's Lisa with Lisa Heal Yourself. And today I am going to tell you the truth about health coaches. So if you are excited about today's video, then go ahead and give it a like, hit subscribe, and let's get into it. Okay, so the real reason that you are confused and the real reason that you are overwhelmed by the healing world, by health coaches, by all the programs, and by all the material out there is because you are being given pieces to a puzzle, but you are not being given the entire puzzle. And I know because being chronically ill for over a decade, myself, and having to pull all the pieces together on what it actually took to heal was a long, miserable, bumpy road where I spent over $200,000 healing and over a decade of my life. And so this channel is dedicated to giving you the whole picture. But even I am limited on this channel, and I am going to explain exactly why I actually created my program and how it is the roadmap, the big picture, right, that takes all the puzzle pieces into account. So I know right now you are listening to people on the internet, you're listening to people who are sick and healing, you're listening to people who have been sick and healed, you're listening to doctors, you're listening to health coaches, you're listening to experts, you're listening to everybody. And you're listening and you're hearing people say, this is the one thing that healed me. This is the thing that healed me. And while that's partially true, there may be one thing that really helped this person heal, that really helped them turn the corner or was a big piece of their healing journey. It is never the full picture, because often people in interviews who are telling you what they did, the thing that helped them, they're often leaving out all the behind the scenes and all of the other things that they did or were doing that actually contributed to them healing as well. Okay. So when you hear these people telling you what they did to heal, you're really only getting a snapshot or their favorite modality that helped them the most. You're really not getting the big picture of everything that they did to heal them. And then this is seriously compounded by health coaches, because health coaches are saying many different things, usually because they have their own story. If a health coach is good, in my perspective, they have their own healing story and they have healed the very thing that you are going through. The problem is most health coaches aren't nearly ever as sick as the clients who go to them. They may have struggled with one thing, perhaps chronic pain, or perhaps gut issues, or perhaps trauma, or perhaps something. Now me, I struggled with over 200 symptoms. It was a decade long. I was diagnosed with multiple issues. So I dealt with everything. I was as bad as a person could be and came back from that. So my expertise really blankets, and I feel confident being able to help people heal in all of the different areas of chronic illness because I probably suffered with it myself. Now, most health coaches don't. They might have had one thing they overcame or a couple of things that they overcame. And so that's really what they focus their channel on, and that's really how they focus their healing message and their healing programs. So for example, somebody who was suffering with one or two ailments and got better, say on the carnivore diet, might become a health coach, and they might focus on diet as everything, as the answer to everything. Then there may be somebody who focused or healed themselves from something. Maybe it was chronic back pain or chronic leg pain, and they used a technique like brain rewiring. And so they might become a health coach and focus on and really share the message that brain rewiring solves all of these chronic health conditions. Or you might have somebody who suffers with skin issues or gut issues, or maybe an emotional trauma or anxiety or something very specific, and maybe they healed through spirituality or faith, and so they might become a health coach and really focus on that and say that that is the answer to everything. They might become a spiritual coach or a manifestation coach or something similar that focuses on that as the answer to healing everything. But the absolute truth is that healing, first of all, isn't linear. So you're not going to heal ever in a straight line. And I can say with 95% certainty that it is not one modality or one answer or one thing that fixes chronic health conditions, chronic health disease, mental health illness, all of these things. It's not that modality or that tool. It rarely in my experience comes from one thing. And the thing is, most people have tried everything. They've dabbled in all of it. But when they finally heal, they talk about just the one thing that really helped them or resonated most deeply with them. But they really did try everything in order to get there. And a lot of these things helped them or pushed them or had a cumulative effect on their healing. And that gets left out in the soundbite or in the health interview. And most people really focus on quickly telling their story because it's very hard to tell a story. They focus on what's memorable or maybe what's marketable. And so let's talk about why people want to become a health coach. There are people who want to become because they truly want to help people. People have gone to school, they've gotten training, they've decided that this is what they want to do. They resonate with a certain modality and they learn all about it and they have some personal experience about it, and this is what they want to share with the world. And so they become a health coach, or they're educated, or they are trained in some way to help people. Then there are people who are the sick ones, who have struggled, who have been at the bottom, who have had everything and had to heal themselves through personal experience over time, and they get the answers and then they want to share that with others. They want to help others with the knowledge that they gained along the way because they have a real personal connected calling. It might be a personal mission or something that they feel that they were called to do now that they've gotten to the other side of their illness. So then there's those people. And then there may be people who are in it for all of the wrong reasons and simply are after, making money or an easy buck online, or they stumbled into it somehow and the YouTube algorithm rewarded them. And so now they're kind of learning on the fly and they're copying or ripping off other people, and they know some things about healing, but they really have never had the personal experience or have the credible training, have gone to school for it. And so they're just more kind of flying by the seat of their pants. There's these people as well. Okay, so here's the thing that you're not being told. And this is what I struggle with as a health coach myself, because I was sick for so long that I went to health coaches. I took every program on the market. I did everything. I tried every modality out there. Like, I know this stuff because I had to try it. I had to experience it. I had to see what worked and what didn't work firsthand. This was a long journey over a decade, like I said, that spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on this stuff. And so as I healed, I never wanted to charge. I never wanted to create a program. I never wanted to make money off of people because I really, along my journey, got turned off and put off by all of the things that I had to spend money on, by all of the courses, by all of the coaches, who didn't even help me, who didn't really even seem to care. But the truth is, if you want to be in this industry, if you want to help people, if you're making this a full-time job, like if you spend all your days making videos, or if this is how you're spending your time researching, learning, sharing, experiencing things, and you're not going to work, you absolutely need to make money because you need to feed your family, you need to pay your bills, and as you get better, you have a choice to make. It's like you either go back to work, you either go to the job that you were doing before, or go to a whole new career, or you make health and healing your career. And if that's what you're making it your career, if that's what you still feel called to do, then you have to make money at it. So then there's a number of ways to make money, right? You can sell your own coaching, sell your own programs, you can sell your own memberships, you can sell your own ebooks, your own courses, you can write a book. There's all these different, ways that anyone in a business can make money. And so if you want to stay in this industry, if you want to make this your full-time job because you feel called to do so, then you are going to have to charge money and you are going to have to find a way to make money. Otherwise, you simply can't spend all your time doing it. You have to go back to work because you have bills to pay, you have your family to feed, you have a life to live. And so you have to make a decision. For me, I came to a crossroads and I'm like, okay, am I going to do this? Am I going to create a product? Or am I just going to continue to give out free content forever, which I would have loved to do with no monetary value back, which isn't realistic if this is what you want to do forever. So let's talk about business for a minute and let's talk about YouTube, because I started my journey on YouTube and I started giving free advice on YouTube. But my channel, you can see, is very small in comparison to most people's. Every once in a while, I'll have a video that goes viral or that hits and I'll get an uptick in subscribers. But really, my views are fairly low considering I've had this channel for so long and I've been consistent in putting out content, day after day, week after week, year after year. And that is because, I didn't treat YouTube as a business. I treated it as a vehicle to get information out, right? To spread my message. But if you're looking specifically at YouTube and how to grow on YouTube, and I've gone through these phases where I've tried, but it is a difficult balancing act because for me, I have to be completely aligned with my videos and what I'm talking about. I have to resonate deeply with that. I don't want to put out a video or a topic just to go viral. My message has to come first in every video that I put out. But the YouTube algorithm, it rewards clarity, repetition, and specificity, meaning a lot of people out there have to niche down or be very specific around one general idea so that the YouTube algorithm gets an idea exactly of what you're talking about, and it can make you sort of the expert in that niche or in that subject, and then it can help to promote your videos and help them to really get pushed out and recognized in that area. So the thing that no one tells you is that health coaches out there tend to niche down, meaning they stick to one thing because it's good for their growth on YouTube. And if it's good for their growth on YouTube, it's good for their overall product sales and it's good for their business. Because if it gets views and it's very specific week after week, then it builds trust, right? And building trust in that one specific thing, making them feel like an expert in that one specific area, sells programs, it sells memberships, it sells the things that they need to sell to stay a health coach. But that specificity and that clarity comes at a cost, because you, the person who's watching, the person who's sick, the person who's suffering, the person who really needs the full picture, are left wondering, why isn't this thing, this one specific thing, working for me? And the truth is, the reason why it's not working for you is because healing isn't one thing. Healing isn't niching down. Healing isn't a specific modality or a specific tool or a specific subcategory of healing. Healing is big. Healing is broad. Healing is multidimensional. And so if you really want to heal, and the thing that I learned going on my journey is that you need to heal in all 4 quadrants, meaning you need to heal the mind, you need to heal the body, you need to heal the heart, and you need to heal the soul, right? The body is very specific. You need to heal through physical protocols, right? You need nutrition and movement and sleep and hydration and detox and supplements and even really advanced specific healing protocols with natural alternative to drugs. Now, the reason I used to talk about this ad nauseum on my channel, and I don't talk about this anymore on my channel, the body quadrant, is because YouTube really started to discourage that kind of content during the COVID years. I don't even know if I can say that. That's how afraid I am to talk about this kind of stuff on my channel. I had so many videos taken down. I had so many videos paused. I had so many strikes against my channel. And it was a really sad time for me to realize that I couldn't talk about physical healing anymore. The algorithm didn't like it. It was taking it down. Freedom of speech was removed. It was a very, very difficult, unless you were a doctor, to even broach these topics of natural healing or alternatives. So in recent years, in the last 4 or 5 years, I've stayed away from this quadrant almost entirely on my channel, right? I don't talk about supplements or diet anymore. I don't talk about detox. I don't talk about natural healing herbs and alternatives, although this is a huge pillar in my program. This is important. You can't heal without this quadrant, but I don't speak about it anymore. And I don't know if that's what other health coaches went through as well, as to they just dropped this quadrant off of their healing topics to talk about, because it would and could get your channel threatened, which is what nobody wants after going through all the hard work and doing the hard work to put out the content and to show up. The last thing you want to do is have all of your videos and your whole library removed off of YouTube. The next quadrant is the mind. This is where you talk about belief work and identity work and brain retraining and thought patterns and even manifestation work. This is where you talk about brain retraining. So again, people will pick a specific category or subcategory or niche, as they call it, because if you talk about brain retraining one day and you talk about manifestation the next day, as I do and have on this channel, the algorithm doesn't reward that, right? Because it's like, it wants you to stay in your lane, wants you to be specific. So a lot of people, if they have a video pop off on, say, brain retraining or on, say, manifestation, then they'll just pick that as their subcategory or as their niche and do all their videos in that lane, because that's what the YouTube algorithm rewards. But there are so many modalities within the quadrant of the mind for healing. And so you, as the person who's watching the video, might get confused as to why this one thing isn't working for you, and you're not being shown all of the other things. But there might be other channels focusing on the other things because that's what they had a video go viral on, or that's what they decided that they were going to niche down and talk about. So that's why things can seem confusing and conflicting. Then we have the quadrant of the heart. A lot of people love to talk about emotions and trauma and inner work and child work and heart's work and working with emotions and nervous system regulation. And again, do you see all the subcategories that I just talked to you about in the area of healing on a heart level, right? So somebody will pick one of those, niche down, let YouTube help them become an expert in that area. They can sell courses, memberships, right? But it's not the full picture. There's all of these things that you need to do when we're healing that category, when we're healing that quadrant. And then, of course, it comes to the quadrant of the soul. This is also extremely important in healing. So some people might talk about faith or prayer or God, and some people might talk about alignment. Some people might talk about identity creation and reality creation. Some people might talk about quantum jumping. Some people are going to talk about embodiment. Some people are going to talk about energy healing. So again, these are all things that you need to know and things that you need to do and things that can help within this quadrant of healing. But people are going to be, niching down and focusing on the thing that either helped them or the thing that they feel most closely resonant with, or the thing that popped their channel off, or the thing that they chose to niche down on. So you can see, number one, that healing isn't even just one quadrant, right? It's all four. You have to heal in all four quadrants. And then within those quadrants, there's 10, 20, 100 different ways that you could focus on healing. And so the more specific people got on YouTube, the more confused you as the person on the healing journey becomes, because it seems like everyone on that channel is talking about, say, brain retraining, or everyone on this channel is talking about shadow work, or everyone on this channel is talking about diet, and everyone on this channel is talking about XYZ. So you can see how confusing it gets for people. So for me, I've completely stopped talking about the body on my channel for fear that the algorithm will shut this channel down. But my program goes in depth on all four quadrants: body, mind, heart, and soul, because you cannot heal without healing on all four quadrants. Maybe you can. There are people who do, because their ailment is only really that maybe they have just experienced trauma. And so they really just need to do heart healing, and they really need to heal the past. And, shadow work or inner child work is all that they need to heal. Or maybe somebody with gut issues, doesn't have trauma, doesn't have other things going on. They have one particular gut area. And so we can focus on nutrition or diet or detoxification or supplementation. And so you can see it depends on what level of health you're at as well, in order what modalities are going to work for you. But if you're really sick, if you have a number of diagnoses, if you have, a number of symptoms, if you have been diagnosed with life-threatening illness, you need to heal on all these 4 quadrants. There's no way around it. And so that's why it can be so confusing online when you see all of these specific channels and health coaches who really focus on one thing, because it's more than one thing. And that one thing is absolutely helpful in that quadrant. I'm sure it is. And they're well-meaning and they know that subject inside and out. So therefore they stick to it. But I want to be extremely straightforward and honest with you. You need to heal in all 4 quadrants, and you need many modalities within those 4 quadrants in order to experience the healing that you're looking for. And oftentimes you need to do them in the right order, which complicates it even more, because when you're making a YouTube video or when you're sharing on a subject or a particular topic, you're not considering the order. You're not considering all the other quadrants. You're not considering everything else. You're just presenting one idea in one video. Okay, I also want to talk about why I don't have a community, right? I've been on YouTube for a long time. I have never created a community or a membership, which is a very easy way to make money in the health coaching industry. So I'm going to be blunt with you as to why I do not have one in my course. I do not have one on my channel, and why other people might. Okay, so a lot of health coaches love memberships. They love healing communities, because these are recurring income machines. You pay by the month, people know what they're gonna get, it's consistent money. They also help people feel seen and heard, and it takes the workload off them because you have other people in the community helping and responding to each other. So there's a lot of value being given that the health coach doesn't even need to be a part of, right? So these communities are a great way to keep people engaged. And they're a great way for people to build like these commonalities and friendships, and they're giving and exchanging information, and the health coach doesn't even have to do that much. So I feel that healing communities and online memberships actually keep people stuck. And that is why I don't offer a membership, and that's why I don't even have a community in my healing program. Specifically, I didn't just not do it because it'd be hard to set up, or I didn't want to take the time to do it. I very specifically chose not to, because when you surround yourself with other people who are sick and who are suffering and who have chronic illness and who are complaining and who know less than you do, you stay in that frequency. You stay in the frequency of the very problem that you are trying to solve. You keep talking about the problem. You're building relationships in your life around the problem. You are cementing in an identity of chronic illness. You can't outgrow or shift or change. It's very difficult to move and create a new identity while you're cemented in an old one. And this is what community and memberships, I feel, this is why I feel they keep people stuck. And this is why I feel they're doing people a disservice. Not because building community and support isn't a great thing. It is. But not if you're doing it with the very people in the very same mentality and stuck in the very same identities that you're trying to shift out of. If you were able to join a membership or a community with all of the people who have healed, who are completely healed now, that would be amazing. And you're the only sick person in it, I would say 100% go ahead and pay whatever you have to pay to be in that group and to be a part of that community, and pay the monthly fee for that membership, because you are going to be able to shift your identity. You are going to learn from people who have actually done it. You are going to be hearing the right messaging, the right stories, you're going to be reading the right things in the comments. But if you are in a group with people who are also sick, suffering, failing, confused, you are going to be literally stuck around in a circle, reading the same thing. Even though it's great to bond with people, who share your struggle, that will not get you to healing. Okay, so now that I've shared with you the full understanding of what health coaches never tell you about healing, what can you do with this information? Instead of looking for the next big thing or getting sucked into just one small area of healing, you can ask yourself, what quadrant am I in? You can ask yourself, what quadrant have I been avoiding? What quadrant am I loaded up on? Am I doing a lot of healing in? What quadrant am I not healing in at all? What is my body actually asking for? What are my symptoms? What are my problems? What truths have I been ignoring? Right? These are all questions that you can ask yourself to help get you back on track and realize that while all of these health coaches hopefully mean well, and I'm sure many of them do, and many of them are experts in the thing that they're teaching you, really understand if you're taking a program, is it dealing in all 4 quadrants? Is it really going to help me heal mind, body, heart, and soul? Or is it very specific? And if I'm taking 2 or 3 programs, am I loaded up all in one quadrant? Or am I really spread around so that I am getting the full healing that I need? So ask yourself that question, really investigate. In order to become your own healer, you need to make sure that you are healing in all 4 quadrants. I have my program set up in all 4 quadrants. I walk you through all 4 quadrants and all the different modalities within all 4 quadrants because I know that's what it takes to heal. So you can stop trying to copy someone's very specific or niche down protocol. You can stop thinking that the answer is somehow outside of you, or that somebody knows something more. If you could only do that thing better or harder or more specifically, then you could heal. Because the truth is, you don't need to get better at doing that one modality. You probably need more modalities, and you need to make sure you're doing them in all of the different quadrants in order to see the results. And then you need to integrate it all, because again, we're not separate, mind, body, heart, and soul. That is one being, and we need to integrate this healing into a full experience so that you come into wholeness. And even though my channel has evolved and grown, and I do talk more specifically about the heart and the mind on my channel, or the soul, and I've left out the body, and I'm all over the place, and I talk about lots of different topics, and I don't get very specific or niche down for too long, I may be talking about something that YouTube favors that month or isn't penalizing me for, right? And I don't often get rewarded. My channel doesn't get rewarded because I do talk about many different things, and I have in the past. And so, the algorithm doesn't know what to do when they see a healing manifestation mind-based video, and then they see, a trauma work, healing therapy video. They don't know who to send my videos to. And so they sort of go out to no one, which is not great for my channel, but I know it's necessary to get you all of the different information and all of the different pieces. So all that said, if you are ready to heal on all 4 quadrant levels, not just do another trick or not just get really specific in one area, then subscribe, because this is where we talk about all of it. And if you really want to heal on all 4 quadrants and you want my help, then sign up for my program, because my program isn't censored. I don't have to niche down. We don't have to do anything specific. There's nothing that the program rewards or doesn't reward. It is simply all of the information that you need to heal. And I walk you through it part by part, quadrant by quadrant. We go through everything that you need to know so that you become your own healer and you don't have to rely on all of these different channels and try to figure it out, right? I give it all to you. And so, if you enjoyed today's video, then go ahead and give it a like. If you got value from it, give it a like. If you did, subscribe. I want to thank you for spending your valuable time with me today. I'm sending you all my love, and I will see you in the next video.